then.
All of us.
Yeah, Tiff, of course. Rochelle, Cody, yeah. That was who was leading team calls, and then leaders started happening, and and so that's who we were watching. Like, our team rocks, you guys. It really does. Like, and Lori, she's amazing, and her vision has always been huge, and her belief is huge, and she has never wavered. And so, like, our upline is amazing. So, and our sidelines right here, yeah. What? Amber Miller, yeah.
Since you said Sonia, I just have to share because I said it before, so I don't know if you guys heard this, but I met Sonia Dudley with Sue, and who else went to? No, you didn't go. Fallon went to Brittany. You went to see her in Tennessee, right at the beginning. And she right away made a massive impact. She's the type of person that you can talk to her for 2 minutes and you feel seen and heard and loved and special. And it is a gift. And it is a gift that for her, I'm sure comes very naturally, but it is also something that can be developed by anyone. So I remember that and it stuck with me. I'm like, I want to be that way. Like, what a gift to be able to you don't have to spend all your time with somebody, to create an impact and to create value. But you can do a lot in just 2 minutes. So that was inspiring.
Jamie, you are like that.
Yes. Okay, we talk about culture and surrounding ourselves with people that add value and you want to be like. So how do you handle a new join that you see leadership potential in, but has strong differing views on religion, marriage, sexuality, etc., than what our team exemplifies? This is a great question. So I think you handle it with love, because every single person that comes into your team is made in the image of God, and then you want to try to use your influence for good. And with Christina's permission, I'm going to share that when she joined me, we did have differing views on things. She was not a Christian, and she was a public school teacher, and I was a Christian homeschooling mom. So there was a lot of things that we didn't necessarily share values on. The core values were the same. We both valued family and being a good mother, and we loved our kids and things like that. So we still had things to talk about. Also, she makes me laugh really hard. So that helps. But I mean, look at her now, right? She loves the Lord, and I think she would tell you that I've had an influence on her. And so I didn't come in, like when she came into it, I wasn't thinking I have to change her in order to be able to work with her. But just through us working together, somehow maybe that was not me at all. Maybe it was something else entirely, but I know she was different when I met her. I don't want to take too much credit. Anybody want to add something?
I don't want to add nothing.
I think you just love people. You just love them, and you speak your truth, and let the Holy Spirit decide where that's gonna fall. Let her decide that.
Here's the thing. If she had made me feel, people who are doing wrong know they're doing wrong, number one. Okay? They don't need you to tell them. So I didn't need her to say, well, Christina, no, I'm a Christian and you're living with a man that you're not married to, and I don't really think, I'm sure y'all are not abstaining, so that's a big problem. She gave me marital advice before I was married, right? But you just have
And then he wanted to marry her.
See, so it got me married too. What would I do without you? I'd be broke and single and going to hell. You don't never know where somebody's come from, and you never know where they will end up. And you get the opportunity to be a ripple effect for a lot of people. For a lot of people, if you'll just love them, have boundaries, but just love them and set your expectations. People will rise to meet expectations if it comes in love.
And everybody has gifts and talents that God's given them. And you can love people by telling, just calling that out. I mean, Christina has always had massive amounts of potential. She didn't have to be a Christian or share all of my views. Like, we still don't agree on every single thing. I'm still working on her. I'm totally kidding. Oh, what was I saying? Alright, anyway, bottom line is, everybody has value, and so you just use your influence for good. Just love people. Is that good enough? Okay. Okay, how has your life changed since becoming a diamond? That's a fun one. And I'm sure everybody should answer this one real quick. Wow. Who has the mic?
I will.
Okay.
Get it together, Chris.
I'll try really hard. Okay. Remember I said we had debt? This goes back a while, but I moved to Michigan from Iowa. I was a small town Iowa girl, and moved away from my family to a place where I knew nobody. Sal was 2.5 hours north. That's why I moved to Holland, Michigan. And she was the only one I knew there. A friend I was supposed to live with moved back to Iowa, so she totally ditched me. But I met my husband, got married, had kids, kept teaching. Didn't want to teach anymore, and Plexus showed up and slowly rose, fast and then slow, but got to Diamond. We've paid off debt. And we've talked all through there, we talked about moving back closer to my family. And it wasn't like I have to do this, but it was something I kind of wanted to do at some point, and Kevin did too. But we didn't want to do it unless I wanted it. We weren't debt free yet. And this came up like last year even. And I was like, no, we can't do it unless we're debt free, can't do it. And so, because I know it's gonna be expensive and whatever, and I was digging my heels in too because I love Michigan and I love my friends and my family who have become my friends there. And my kids are getting older and they had roots. We have roots. I've been 21 years in one place is good. We have roots. But family's really important to me too, and I miss my family when I go see them. So we paid off debt, and then Kevin's like, let's check it out, let's see what happens. And I said no. Dug in and said no, but I had said when we pay off debt, we can see. Well, we paid off debt and we could move, and God provided that whole thing, and we sold our house and we found a house, and God answered every single question, but we couldn't do it without Plexus. If I was still teaching, and not that Michigan isn't bad, don't get me wrong, I love that place, but there was a special place in our heart and something big that we wanted to do, and my husband wanted to do. It was a dream that he ended up having, and he just wanted to do something new, and he was really excited about it, and we were able to do that thanks to Plexus, and we moved completely debt-free and paid for the whole thing, and and maybe it doesn't seem like a big deal, but
It's a big deal.
it's a big deal. So so instead of living 11 hours drive from my family, I live 2-hour drive from my family, and I can see my mom, and my mom's memory is going, and I feel like God has called us back to that area. I'm in South Dakota now, but 2 hours from my family in Iowa, and I feel like God has called me back there for different reasons to love on my family, because I haven't been able to do that in the last 20 years. Only 3 times a year I would go home. And I went home. When everybody went to Florida or somewhere warm for spring break, I went to Iowa. It was cold. And people came back with tans, and I was not. So, but it was good, but now I can see my family whenever I want, and I can, but it was, when we were to sell clothes, to pay for clothes for my kids, we were living paycheck to paycheck, and we did that to ourselves, and, but there were dreams that we had, and I said goodbye to that dream. There was years I cried when I left Iowa, and that went away. I think you just miss your family, but we had a dream to go back. I did want to at one point, but I said goodbye to that dream, and then it came true now this year. and it was because of Diamond. And it's been a gift. And while I miss my Michigan family, we're also meeting some really neat people in South Dakota that I'm thankful for too. And God can expand your network and your reach, you know, and He can help change lives. And I'm not telling you have to move, but I'm telling you, when you step out in faith and you do hard things, big things come from that. So just keep stepping out and doing the hard things, and those big things will come.
Sally had to have some therapy when Chris told me she was moving away from Michigan. I told her I was going to break up with her. No, it wasn't easy. Financial was a big one for us too. We were in a lot of debt. We were counting on my parents to pay our electric bill some months. It was a huge struggle. I kind of shared that, you know, with our kids in Christian education, and we had big dreams too. And I always just had this belief that God had something bigger for me. And I never felt like I knew what my purpose was. When I was working at other jobs or whatever, and I just kept praying about that and asking God for that. And I just know exactly what my purpose is now. And that came through Plexus and Him just literally laying it in our lap. Like Jamie posted on Facebook, Sue and I saw it at the same time. We both were hot messes with health, and so we wanted to try the products, and I couldn't afford it. I could not afford it, so I had to get my products paid for. And so I clicked pay for my triplex, and I turned around and went to Facebook, and I posted on Facebook. I didn't even have my products. I had never even heard hardly of Plexus. I had never taken it. And I posted immediately, and I went silver right away. And the rest is history. But it's just, he just laid the business in our lap, and it was exactly what we needed, what we were looking for. And you guys, God is He's just amazing. When you give your life over to Him, like Chris said, follow His plan and do it afraid. I was afraid. I didn't want to post those things on Facebook, you guys. It was scary. We were like Christina, we had people in our community making fun of us, and that is not easy. Yeah, we still do. Yeah. But I didn't let it stop me, you guys. And what if I did? What if I would have said, screw it, I'm done. I can't. I'm embarrassed. Fear of man, all that stuff. I wouldn't be here. And I would know all of these incredible people. So just don't let fear rule. That was a huge thing for me, was fear. And I still have some fear, but completely changed my life financially and health-wise, but also personal growth. I'm not the same person I was 6 years ago. Have grown so much in my walk with the Lord and who I am. And it just wouldn't be for these people pouring into me. What? Are you laughing? So anyway, it's just life-changing. I could go on and on, but I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Are we all talking?
I think we should do it.
Oh, okay, yes. What's going on? It's not a joke. The business has been just so impactful for my family. I think the number one thing I think about that sticks out is just all the friendships I've made, and every time it sticks out to me, I think like, oh goodness, I met them because I sold them something, like clothes, or so I was selling them something, and that's how I've met a lot of my team. But then we've grown like this great community. And another thing that really stuck out in my business, we've been able to live freely, take vacations as a family, save for our kids, do these big dreams, give back, all of that. And I think the biggest impact was, when my son was diagnosed, I was able to be there in that hospital for him. I was able to have the freedom to get a second opinion when we were in Savannah, to follow the Lord and what He was telling me, and to take my son to Philadelphia, which was a flight away, to seek a second opinion for treatment. And y'all, when that surgeon sat in that room and told us, had you not come here, you would be in an entirely different position, I knew that Plexus was where I would be, because I was able to go and I was able to go to Philly because I didn't have to worry about a job. And I knew that I had leaders, I had a community that supported me, I had friends that were praying for me, and our family, and it was just the biggest blessing and so much encouragement surrounding us. And I think that's been the biggest thing that has stuck out in my business is the community and the friendships. And I mean, this was all of Plexus, y'all. It wasn't just us. It was your other diamonds in Plexus. It was the executive team, corporate. It was literally one Plexus. And I'll never forget that. And it's what I've been so grateful for through all of this. So.
So for me, when I hear that question, the first thing that comes to mind is, and I was like, as you guys were talking, I'm like tearing up thinking my own, but it allowed me to have, can't even talk, belief in myself in big ways that I never ever would have thought. To dream again. When this came to me, I was a mom. Before that, I was in Fort Rucker, and it was very lonely because I didn't know anyone. And I had a little baby, or a kid, and then I had another one. I was baby talking all day, okay? I was FaceTiming during lunch to whoever I could think to FaceTime just to have a normal conversation. So when you get in that spot, I loved it, and that was my dream, and that's what kept me going because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But you stop challenging yourself and dreaming big, and I never had that belief in myself that I could do something like this. There was no way. Holy cow, I'm so So having something like this that can challenge you, do something out of your comfort zone, believe in yourself in ways that you never would have imagined. Accomplish those things. And amongst